I'm Jake Johnson, and this is Untethered. Come on. Got my car, half mile from here. Watching pictures rolling for you, watching disappear without love. Where to now? Without love. Well, you know I saw Miss Lucy on the right tracks. Lost her old family, she won't be coming back without love. Well, what you be right now, now? Without love. Bring it down. Well, the pieces keep on turning, just go round and round. Coke stealing night, boy, you're going downtown. Hey. Southern Central States, keep on pushing my mother, you don't want to be late. To be right now, without love. All right. You know them visions southern Central States. Keep on driving my love, you don't want to be late. Hey! Well, would you be right now, now? Without love. Without love. Ooh, where would you be now? Yeah, just like that. Where would you be? Where would you be? I would be right here. All right, we got Kevin motherfucking Howard from G Vegas Magazine, straight up pimp, right here on this podcast, and we are excited as hell. We've been trying to get this to happen for like a year now. It seems like
3 weeks, but it's close.
we booked him, and then the sky fell out of the sky, so it was, you know, technically the ground, and so he couldn't come, and then it stopped raining, and he was going to come. And then they evacuated. And then he had to go to Panama. Is that right, Panama?
Went to Panama City.
Went to Panama City. He's sitting on a beach with bikinis and chicks and hot dogs and stuff, and we're up here neck deep in floodwater.
Working, man. We were working.
So he couldn't come that week, and this is this week. We originally intended him to be episode 10, big show. This is episode 12, and we're still here, and we're doing all right. Finally got a power back on. Finally got the traffic rolling again. It's been kind of exciting, man. Tell me how your week's been.
My week's been busy. Very busy. Everything with the flood, has kind of brought Eastern North Carolina to a halt.
Sure did.
Business as usual, anyway. And
Not the Jake Johnson Band podcast. I went out to the water and filmed one.
Yeah, I heard you went. Even with no electricity, you can't hold you down, right?
I had batteries, though.
There you go. Well, then we got back from our trip. We came back a little early because we were more concerned with the flooding and anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we got stuck in Shine.
Really?
Yeah, we got flooded in Shine. We finally found one exit out, and we ended up having to come back to Greenville by way of Kinston.
Man, it must have been a ride because I only know one road into Shine.
It was a ride.
Y'all had to go way out of the way.
And I told the guys' phones weren't working, and they didn't know where they were. And I said, "Get me to 70 Austin, and I'll get you back."
Towers were
Right.
down for 3 days.
Yeah,
Phone towers.
it was interesting to see that everyone went out. They're usually attached to their phone,
Yeah.
not knowing which way was what. So
That's kind of how my week went. Power went out, phone went out, internet went out, and I went crazy. I had no idea how to communicate with anybody. My sister said, "Are you doing all right?" And I literally did this before I answered. So, yeah.
smoke
Kevin, I
signals.
don't know you like the rest of the guys do. Tell me about your magazine and exactly, how did it get started and everything.
Well, I have a magazine. We just celebrated 10 years.
Wow.
G Vegas magazine.
G Vegas Magazine.
So, August 16th was 10 years, and we about a year and a half ago we actually diversified and went into Wilmington market, Raleigh market, Jacksonville market, and they've slowly been building those markets underneath one umbrella corporation called Where You Party.
Mhm.
The U being for
I've got the
university.
logo. I'm going to start putting it on our website.
Well, thank you. Yeah, then that's the idea, is to take that logo, and if we can make it work in Eastern North Carolina, our next step is to take it down to Florida, Orlando area. There's a lot of universities in the 25 or so in the 5-mile radius of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Allegiant Air, we can fly down there for about $65.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so we go down there and get them set up, and if I can get these things set up, then hopefully the idea is to franchise.
Now, you've got other magazines too, right?
No, just those two. Now, I've worked for some in the past.
Are there other magazines that's attached to Where You Party at?
Yeah, the Raleighwood magazine,
Okay.
W-Town magazine, and Boomtown, which is the nickname for Jacksonville with the Sonic Booms.
Mm-hmm.
They're all basically like G Vegas because of the nickname G Vegas. I didn't invent the name G Vegas. We just took it and ran with it, and we've kind of
Looks
polished
good
it.
on a T-shirt.
It looks real good on a T-shirt.
Did you have to any patent on that? Was there any kind of
No,
issue like that?
No, there was just a few small things. After 10 years of using it, we pretty much everyone's kind of left us alone.
Wow.
Well, there's a little known in realms of normal people. They don't know about this law, but there's a law that says that you can use photographs and logos and video clips and pictures as long as you're doing it in a way that you're either using it for satire or if you're critiquing it.
Right.
And so you can use without a license those things, and that's basically how a magazine functions
Correct.
on that law. Because if it were the other way around, you'd be getting sued every time you turned around.
Right. And
So-
whenever we do use a lot of stuff that we find from other people sending in, and we always give credit.
Absolutely.
Where credit's due. That's kind of the way you do it. And when we take pictures or photographs of people, we're not paparazzi. We don't go out and just, hey, take a picture. We have to explain to them. It's a legal thing. We have to explain, hey, we're with G Vegas Magazine. Can we take your picture? And we're going to put it in the magazine and put it online.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say yes, then we take their picture. And by them actually smiling for the photo, it's like signing a contract.
Also, a little known fact: in the state of North Carolina, a verbal contract does stand in the court of law. So that is a release form when they give you permission, if you have a witness.
And we've been in a couple of courts a lot. We've been subpoenaed a couple times for child custody cases and divorce cases.
Really?
Where someone, whoever it was, went out and did something they weren't supposed to, and we took their picture because they said it was okay. If you're out there, if you're not supposed to be out and you're cheating on your wife, don't say okay.
Next time I
Don't
go.
let the guy
It's
What did
more
you
than
say?
one.
You guys are kind of like girls going wild. Y'all are everywhere out there in Greenville.
We're better than girls going wild. We pay our taxes.
Oh.
Yeah, but I bet you don't see near as many titties.
No. No. No, but I see. You know, I have seen some things that my friends always tease me about. You know, being in the college scene.
Oh yeah.
I'm older than college, but I'm still in the college scene, and
You and me both.
they all seem to keep getting younger.
And prettier.
I'm staying the same age.
And less.
That's the good thing.
See, when
about
I was a
those girls.
young person,
No matter how old you
a
get, they stay the
15-year-old.
same age.
That's right.
Right.
when I was young, a 15-year-old had pigtails and knocky knees, walked around with a bucket in their hand all the time. And now
The
you
times have
can't,
changed.
you can't tell.
No,
That's
You got
trap.
to card them
that's
before
exactly
you
right.
flirt with them.
That's exactly
Card before you flirt. Remember that, because they'll get you, especially
That
in
just had
Greenville.
a lot where you live to do with where you live at too.
Well, Kevin, on a
Yeah.
personal note, I'm glad I like your magazine because it's able to schedule the music. You know what I mean? That's I like to look at.
We've always been big supporter of live music. Of course,
Right,
you know,
right.
those are my roots.
Yeah.
And you know, technology and taste in music and have driven it to a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, entertainment now. I mean, if you want to hear a good old Hank Williams song, you pull your phone out, pull it up about 10 seconds.
That's it.
You don't have to go to the club.
That's
you know.
right. Yeah.
So the musician is way more underappreciated than they ever were.
And harder to make a living, too.
Yeah, way harder. 'Cause
Which is why we have a podcast.
Well, exactly. Well, I DJ now.
Yep.
So, you know, I've been in a lot of different bands, and I DJ now simply because I enjoy the entertainment value of performing.
Mhm.
What's neat about my band is they all show up at the same time.
Yeah.
And, they know every
I got
song.
You know they're going to show up.
Yeah. One guy's not too drunk to play. You know, no one ever misses a note. And,
Unless you're too drunk to play.
Exactly. Well, I'm trying to be that guy. But you know, that's the idea. And,
I try to be that guy.
and through the magazine, we try to promote live music. And you're seeing some of it. It's coming back around. Music's circular.
That's something I want to ask you about. Now, Jake Johnson, you were actually in the first band I played in when I moved to North Carolina, a band called Chris Aker Band.
Yeah, it's like,
I went and sat in with that band, and then your lead guitar player and piano player came with me.
right.
And I don't really know. I didn't intend to steal them. I think it worked out that way. I think they were leaving, and
Yeah.
I got them. I really don't know how that all happened, but that's how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we played in Greenville for 12 years. We were one of the highest paid bands. We were one of the most popular bands, and definitely the hardest working band. Nobody's calendar looked like our calendar. And did you know that the guy that was in the first band I played in started a magazine and never once asked me to be in it? Now, I've been on the road with David Allen Coe. I've been on the road with Confederate Railroad.
Right.
I've been on the road with a couple of people that I won't even mention because, woo! And I've been on the road with this band. And not one time, I've been on the news twice, 3 times. I've been on a morning television show, which no longer exists, that t-shirt back there, AM Scuttlebutt. I was on the radio for a year. I did NASCAR Update with Hank FM for an entire year. Well, almost a year. It was the NASCAR season. And not one time did I ever get invited to be in a magazine. I even caught you at a bar and said, I'll write the article and take the picture. All you got to do is put it on the paper.
And welcome to
And-
the
and-
hot
and you
seat show. This
Sure.
is the hot seat.
And then I never heard
You
from
never
it.
sent it, though, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right.
Because I never got confirmation.
After all of that, it went right back to you.
Yeah, it's my
We have an open door
I
policy
understand.
there, and this is the truth. With
The reason I bring it up, I'm not bitching.
No,
I'm bringing it up because there are a lot of new acts.
Right.
And they need to know how to get in touch with you. And that's
Right.
one thing I want to put up. Right now, I want to put up your information, your website, your email address, phone number, whatever, so they can contact you and get into the magazine.
Right.
Because that's the reason we do this is for artists.
That's exactly
Now,
right.
I just was playing. I know why.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
in the
no,
magazine. I'm way too ugly to be on the cover of a magazine.
To explain some of that, though,
No,
we
with the
do
cover,
have an
not
open
just the-
door.
the
You see how I did that?
Yeah, I
went
noticed
from
that.
back
Yeah,
page
you went
ad
from
to
inside
cover.
to the cover real quick, man.
Always thinking.
We have that open door policy there, and you know, it's with any kind of artist. You know, whether it be a musician artist that plays an instrument,
Mhm.
or a hip hop artist, or anything that we're college based, and so it's always open. We have tons of stuff turned in.
Oh,
We only
sure.
have 36 pages to fit it all in.
Mhm.
And so we have to kind of pick and choose sometimes time sensitivity,
Mhm.
you know, and then of course there's always, I gotta live, so advertisements take
Absolutely.
precedent to a certain extent as well. But you know, any chance I get to promote live music, I actually have a really great writer. Her name's Christina Medano, and she's down in Wilmington. and she travels all over the place. Now her favorite is very hard rock, heavy metal, screamo. I don't even know all the terms for the new stuff. I mean,
Screaming loud.
but she does a great job. She writes the articles. She goes to visits. We give her press credentials. I don't even have to tell her where to go, and she loves it. And those are the people we look for. Those are the writers we look for, because that's what we live off of. Not just secondhand information. Even sometimes if an artist themselves sends it in, it seems, even reading, you can tell it seems a little self-serving.
Oh yeah,
I don't
definitely.
care how objective you try to be about yourself, it's always going to come off there.
Absolutely.
So if you can find someone like her or anyone else that can put it in their own words and their own perspective, it means a lot more. And the readers aren't stupid. They read, even if it's a 2-paragraph article, they'll know if it's copied from the internet, if you wrote it yourself, or if it was actually brought in.
Or if you're like me and then wrote it yourself and then spend the rest of the time copying it off the internet because you're too lazy to write something else.
We found that out early on, man, because I had writers come in and we tried to pay them. And they'd say, I want a job writing for the magazine. And I go, okay, that's great. And in this situation, I'll just lay it out. You come in and you say, Kevin, I want to write for the magazine. Okay, good. And in your mind, maybe you think your writing skills for an article are worth $100. You didn't tell me that, but in your mind, you walk in, you're like, I'm going to try and get $100 for my article. And then you go, Kevin, how much y'all paying for articles? And I go, $50. And
That's actually good.
Well, but you went in thinking 100. So right then, if you stay, you've already discounted the amount of work, the amount of time by half. Okay? So since I'm paying you, the next question is, what do you want me to write about? But Jay, write me an article about the best vegetarian places to eat in Greenfield.
Oh, I only write about
Let's
artists.
about some music. Let's play a song, Jay.
We're getting there.
Great.
So I'll speed it up a little bit, but the idea is you don't know anything about that. So if I ever get the article, it's poorly written, you don't know a damn thing about it, and the readers don't you're doing this disservice to the readers and the magazine. So we stopped and we said, the person comes in, you want to write? Well, what do you pay? Nothing. They either get up and leave, or they stay.
That's right.
Now what do you want to write about? Well, write about the best musical artists you've seen in the last 10 years in East North Carolina. You're going to write it, it's going to be heartfelt, you're going to know what you're talking about, you'll be able to cite your sources, and the reader is actually one that wins. And we win as well, because we're able to publish it, and now you're a published writer.
All right. Speaking of writers, if you're interested in being a writer, or if you're an artist who wants to be promoted, how can we get in touch with the magazine real
You
quick?
can email us at gvegasmagazine@hotmail.com.
Okay, GVegas Magazine at
hotmail.com.
hotmail.com. We're going to show you one of those artists right now. Check this video out. You're going to love it.
So Greenville is a city that is currently going through a substantial amount of transformation. We've got about $500 million coming into our 10 by 6 block area known as the Central Business District or Uptown Greenville. And in the absence of cultural offerings, that city's not going to be fun. It's not going to be the type of place that is stimulating. It's not going to be fun on a Friday night. It's not going to inspire our youth to become the makers of tomorrow. And so cultural arts offerings like the Whirligig stage provide opportunity for youth and adults to engage and inspire and offer a little bit of fun. And that's what we're about. We're about creating a city that's a fun place to live, play, eat, shop, and invest.
People want more opportunities to be involved in the arts in various ways, and we're looking for something to push the envelope a little bit too, because I see sort of progressive voices coming out, and that makes me really proud to be here. And for the first time, we're becoming really involved in local politics and city government. Jason's been to a bunch of city council meetings, and that's not something that we've ever even had the inkling to do in other communities. But we moved here, and it's just the right size where we feel like our voices can be heard and we can make a difference in the community. So we really, what a better place to start a theater, because theater is all about having your voice heard.
And we're back. I swear to God, one day I'm going to get tired of saying that, but it ain't today. As you guys know, we started a new segment on the podcast. It's called Quote. And we're going to do that right now. So, David, give us a quote.
All right, this week's quote comes out from Mr. Greg Allman, and he says, "I always play for peace of mind." And I kind of dive into that a little bit, thinking about how you could escape with music. A lot of musicians, they look at their tabs or whatever, but they play and get out of their mind with it. Other people, they listen to music to escape. Take you back to certain memories you had when you heard that song the first time. Certain things you were doing, people in your life at the time. So that's how we want to touch in on that. Jake, what is it like to be front and center, jamming out, and completely get lost in the music?
You mean like right in the middle of a really big jam or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how it is for other people, but me personally, I go blind. I actually like get tunnel vision because I'm all in my head. Some of you might know this, but I don't practice anything. Everything I do, everything I play is right off the top of my head, right in the moment. I do it that way on purpose because I want to be natural. I want to be real. I want my soul to come out. So I actually literally go blind, and I've had people standing there in front of me trying to get my attention, and they think I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring them. I literally don't see them. And so when I get done with whatever it is I'm doing, they just kind of appear into my vision. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? So that's how it is for me. I get inside of my head, and the world disappears.
But is there anything going on in your mind at the time?
No.
It's just blank.
It's blank. It's like I'm in the music. I see music kind of like in colors, you know. I guess
Okay.
it might be colors, it might be shapes. I don't know, but I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm going to play an E now and a D. I don't have any thoughts like that going on when I'm playing. It's just I've got two parts of my brain. The first part of my brain is everything sound good? Is anything broken? What do I need to do next? What's coming up after this song? And then the other part of my brain is play the song, play the song, play the song. And that's pretty much it. That's how it goes. How about you?
Mango, what about you? What's going through your mind when
Play the song, play the song.
When I do what?
when you're playing? What's going through your mind when you're back there holding down that
Oh
beat?
man, sometimes just I wonder. My mind wanders off all kinds of places, man.
You know, I thought about that because I watch you play sometimes, and you just sit over there and you got the weirdest
Hey,
expression.
and depending on where we're at, sometimes there's a game on, and I'm just, I'm watching it. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that a first
I'm
down?
telling you, man, the lights are on, but nobody's home.
Right?
It's moonshine.
So I just notice little things out in the crowd that other people don't see, and
Right.
that are usually humorous to me, and
So as you're playing, you're just like scoping the room for stuff
yeah,
like,
like you
I
see
wonder if
a,
that Snickers is going to be over there when I'm done.
Levon Helm very much said the drummer has the best feet in the house.
Sure,
You can
yeah.
see the band and the audience. Nobody
Yes.
else can do that.
You may notice somebody with a wet spot on the back of their jeans, and they
Right.
don't know about it, but you do.
What about you, Paul? You got
It
anything?
depends. If I'm singing a song, a lot of times I'm thinking about what the next verse is, what the next, you know what I mean, on
Yeah.
as far as the words. But no, I like nothing better than a good jam and get completely lost like Dave was talking about.
And you prep yourself for the next change coming up and stuff like that?
Well, if I'm singing, then I'm thinking about the next,
Right.
the next verse,
Mm-hmm.
That's our quote. Thanks a lot. And who was that by?
Greg Allman.
Greg Allman. I got to run to keep riding. Yeah, I'm bound to keep on riding. I got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em get you. No, not gonna let 'em get you, midnight rider. I'm going down to the point of carry. Some old day, I'll soon be sharing. I got one more silver dollar. Oh, I'm not gonna let 'em get you. No, not gonna let 'em get you, midnight rider. Yeah. Okay, right here. Again. legs are simply weary. I got one more silver dollar. One not gonna let 'em get to know. Not gonna let 'em get to midnight rider. Yeah, I'm not gonna let 'em get to know. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. That's our quote. Thank you, David. And real quick, before we go any further, I want to address the elephant in the room.
You said you weren't going to call me that.
You said you wanted a nickname.
There's a rumor going around that Billy Ocean died.
He did not die.
He did not die. And I'm going to prove it before we end the show. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about G Vegas Magazine.
Thought we had lost a legend. No, Billy Ocean isn't here. You know how excited I would be if Billy Ocean was here right now? Get out of my dreams.
Say it in the camera. I might be able to
Get
make
out of
that
my
happen.
dreams. Get into my
He
car.
said
My man, he knows some of the cast of Code Black.
Fairview and Queen.
I got a picture that proves it.
Yeah.
How did that happen, by the way?
I ran into him in the, I think it was LaGuardia, one of the airports in New York, LaGuardia.
That's a cool dude, man. He's got a
We had gone
mean
up-
looking face.
He was real nice, man.
We're still talking about Billy Ocean, right?
No, we jumped off of
Talking about
that.
Luis
We're
Guzman.
coming back to that.
His name's Luis Guzman.
Luis
He was on
Guzman.
Code Black. He was in Goodfellas. And a couple of...
He's a really,
You
he's in
definitely
every.
recognize
Ryan.
Yeah,
You recognize him more than you recognize his name.
yeah, because he got a face like a
Yeah.
bulldog.
Wasn't he in, what was the movie with Mark Wahlberg? The porn movie?
Diggler?
Yeah,
Boogie Nights.
Job.
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
I think he was in Boogie Nights too. But anyway, I recognized him immediately. He was just we were walking through the thing, and I went and called him by his name.
If you want to see pictures of Kevin Howard with famous people, go to Jake Johnson Band's Facebook page. We got all kinds of pictures of him with Parma Lee and some folks that are in Comic-Con, some famous artists and writers, and Luis Guzman and Kevin Howard. He's famous too, by the way.
Been blessed to see a lot of people, meet a lot of people.
Lean in. And now you got a picture with Jake Johnson. So I'm going to put that on the
The top
Facebook.
on Facebook.
So talking about your magazine, man, I know how hard it was for me to get this thing started. And, you know, I didn't have a budget at all. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any backers. And I had to buy all of this stuff and make it work and do it with no money. How hard was it to get G Vegas Magazine started, and what did you have to go through?
It was easy once I got married.
Are you saying you married for money?
No, I did not. I did not marry for money. I married for love. But we've been married almost 12 years now.
Yeah.
And it was really hard, actually. And I was working for another magazine called The Downtown Scene. I had sold some
remember
ads, and I got kind of the bug for it. I was in a weird place in my life where I was engaged, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. And I was actually working for Hank FM as well. And I had my own show on Saturday. And I was
Saturday, how was Monday?
the Hound Dog.
The Hound Dog.
And one of my favorite stories about that real quick was I pre-recorded my show, and because it was in New Bern, and it would play on Saturday, so I would listen to the show. But I come on the air and do my thing. Hey, it's Hound Dog. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was raining, cats and dogs. My wife came around and she's like,
At least you didn't have to say, I am a redneck, I am a man. I drink Budweiser, I drive a van.
"Oh my gosh!"
I watch the races whenever I can. My name is Jake Johnson, and I'm a NASCAR fan. Boys, I'm a NASCAR fan. I'm a NASCAR fan. At least you didn't have to do that. I've already got a reputation for being a redneck. So anyway,
So I had back surgery. I had terrible back problems, and I had back surgery. I was 28, and then I had back surgery again when I was 32, but I was 28 at the time. And so I was laid up. I had this fiance, and then You know, I was sure she was going to leave. You know, here's this 28-year-old guy. He's laid up. You know, what the hell am I getting myself into? But she stuck right there with me, and
That's cool.
oh, she was real good lady, man.
Props, Mrs. Dog.
Julie, happy love to Julie. But Julie sat right there by my bedside and listened to me talk, rant, and rave. And I think at one point her mother came in and I was quoting Chris Rock's stand up word for word. I don't remember any of this. It's all told to me after the fact.
So,
and so she came in and
So
said,
you had some good painkillers, is what you're
exactly.
telling us. Okay.
They had me on some pretty strong painkillers. And she said, what are you going to do when you get out of this bed? And I said, well, I'm going to start this magazine. It's going to be full gloss. And I'm going to call it G Vegas. And yada, yada. And I had all these ideas. But she stayed there right. She wrote everything down.
You got into drug stupid.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I like that.
And
so the whole magazine was because of Percocet.
about a year later,
I've been married for that very same reason.
it wasn't quite a year later, but probably me too. But 5 times though.
I'm a collector.
You got more money than me. I can't afford for one.
Reason I had no credit. See?
So exactly. I had no credit either.
But I got a nice collection up on the wall.
Yeah, you got
Divorce.
Some credit. You got some credit around.
Divorce 1, divorce 2.
Well, she said to me, she said, I wrote this stuff down. You might want to look at it. And I looked at it. I said, well, you know, some of this stuff makes sense. So I started doing the numbers, calling around printers, figuring out what it would take, and teaching myself different things. And,
Educating yourself.
right. And I tried, even in the point of trying to get a printer, the closest printers printed what is now my competitor, and they didn't want to print me. So they would put me off. We're not accepting new business at this time. This just went on for months. So I made a MySpace page, and every month I would change the cover to MySpace page. Facebook was not around 2 years ago.
Oh, by the way, when we first started, there was no such thing as Facebook.
Yeah.
Just wrap your head around that.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
No YouTube, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Snapchat,
None of
no
that.
Twitter.
We did have email.
Right, we had email,
What's it going to be?
and we weren't too far off the dial-up.
Yeah.
So-
I remember.
Your roommate would pick the phone up as you were downloading the picture.
And
about
lose
halfway
half the
through,
picture.
it'd be gone. But, man, it's like, really? But anyway,
I remember.
yeah, I know. I forget
You're old.
I remember when you had to actually hang out with people.
And I tell that
That's
story a
horrible.
lot, too.
Horrible.
The quick end of the story is, I asked my wife, you know, I said, so I want to do this. I finally got a place to print it. You know, where am I going to get this money? And she said, well, I got this credit card. And she said, you know, I've never put anything on it. She said, you can have it to use, but the catch is you got to pay it off. I said, well, you know, all right. So we put it on the credit card, and I paid it off before the end of the month. I paid it off. No payments. Paid it off. And after that, we just grew
What a
from there.
great
We started in the bedroom. Yeah, sitting in the bedroom till 5 in the morning. That was when I knew it was time to get an office, because I had people, like advertisers, were at my house at 3 or 4 in the
In your
morning.
bedroom.
And I'm like, no, you know, I don't think I want everyone knowing where I live.
Did your wife have those little things that she puts over her eyes?
Earplugs and blinders.
Can you get the investors out of the
Sleep
bedroom,
blinders.
please?
But
Trying to sleep.
That's how it all started.
So there you have it, folks. If you want to be successful, if you want to start something, fraud. That's how you do it.
You gotta marry a good woman.
Yeah, I got a song about a good woman.
Stern bad.
It goes like this. I got a good woman at home who thinks I do no wrong. Sometimes, Lord, she just ain't always around. Don't you know that's when I fall? I spent all that money on her credit card. Then I get whiskey, gin, and hell. Play me a song about a rambling man. Good old Jimmy in my hand. Cause you know I like get drunk and play guitar and shake Johnson band till the sun goes down. Don't you make cheat hard. It'll tear me all apart. And I'll give whiskey, gin, and hell about. Oh, Hank song always make me feel. That's just for you, man.
That was a good song.
You are my other resident redneck. You know that,
I
right?
am.
This guy goes by the name of Dog when he's playing a bass guitar. And the last time I saw him, he had a chain tied around his neck. And it was like a boat chain, and it had like a hubcap on it. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, it didn't have a hubcap on
It
it.
was something on it.
And, well, I had dog tags.
Dog tags.
And
Oh, I
then-
Yeah.
Oh, those are maybe I'm thinking of Flavor
That's
Flav.
Flavor Flav. Where I went to that.
Yeah, they do
look
look Flavor just like that, man.
But a lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, he used to sneak up behind you and hit you in the back of the head and say, "You just got dogs."
Flavor Flav! Hey, Paul, play us a song, man.
Not really, but
Lay it loud.
This is one little theme. Well, first I started off with 16 tons. David really liked. Then did Taking Care of Business with Mango kind of liked. This is a Dylan
did.
song that he introduced in '64 Newport Folk Festival and the KV Boys.
Kitty.
Well, I ain't going on to work on Maggie's farm no more. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. Till you wake up in the morning to hold your head and break a rain. I got a head full of ideas that is driving me insane. Just the way she makes me swell the floor. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's brother no more. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's brother no more. Well, he hands you a nickel, he hands you down. He asks you to give the gas, if you're hammered in the house, singing till he finds you every black case round the door. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's brother no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. He works his guitar right in your face, you're like a pig. And his bedroom window is made out of brick. The hands in National Guard stand around the door. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's farm no Jake. Keep on going. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. No, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. Everybody says I'm just trying to be just like I am. But everybody gonna be just like him. They say, while you play, I just get bored. No, I ain't gonna work. No, I ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna work. I'm back in on no more.
You guys check out this video. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around.
Yeah.
What? Yep, I should be working, but I'm not. So I just wanted to take a break and let everyone know that if you see a story going around that Billy Ocean is dead, he is not. The Caribbean Queen is still alive. I also wanted to let you know what my beard's been doing. I'm doing a little growth. Thank you, TJ, for noticing my beard. So once again, if you see a story that says Billy Ocean is dead, he's not one of the greatest singers of all time. Ooh. Also, to remind you that the band is gonna be live again tonight, just after 7. So we're going back to normal. Thank you. Love you too. You look delicious. Nobody actually just said that. I made that up. So once again, Billy Ocean is out of my dreams and get into my car. He's still alive. Maybe we should do one of his songs tonight. What do you guys think? Anyway, so Jake Johnson Band goes live tonight, 7:15ish. You know, we just kind of live by our own set of rules anyway, so it's really not important. So you guys should all be working like I should be, so get back to work and find you a little bit of Billy Ocean on the radio somewhere and sit back and think how blessed we are to have a great entertainer such as himself. Anyway, guys. Yeah, he's alive. That's right, Brian. Brian Johnson. Love you and Queen. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do. Just that one line. I just don't know the rest of the words, but it's got a really cool sax solo in there. And the bass line's kind of funny. Alright. So yeah, man. Once again, Billy Ocean is still alive. He is not dead. Fake story. My heart dropped. Anyway, got some weird stuff going on around me. Going back to work. Just remember, check us out tonight, 7:15ish. We'll have the whole band back together. No more flooding. We've got power back in the studio. I need more power. Well, we got it. So have a good rest of the day.
All right, we're back.
That was a great video. Did you enjoy that video?
I loved it.
I loved it, man.
One of my favorites.
I don't think I've ever seen anything better in my life. Before we go any further, what was that about Bob Dylan you said?
Yeah, first, well, actually, he's the second musician. There was a guy in 1903, some weird guy, I don't know, but the first modern musician ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize in literature.
Nobel Peace Prize?
Nobel Peace Prize. Talk about Gandhi, Mother Teresa. Okay, this ain't no rock and roll Hall of Fame bullshit. This is like nobody's ever done it. You can change the world through music. It can be done. He did it. It's proven.
I think somebody hit the cocaine before it came to work.
You've been looking for the end of that long white line, ain't you?
Wow. As you guys know, Paul likes Bob Dylan a lot.
What have you noticed?
Now, we've been playing a game on the podcast. It's where I'll give you a $100 bill out of my pocket if you can pick a song I can't play. Now, the rules are simple. I have to agree to it. It can't be ridiculous. It has to be something with a guitar in it. Only one song per person, per household, per week. I've got a week to learn it, but other people play the game, so it may not be this week. Basically, it's a bullshit game. You just text me song titles, and eventually I'll play it. And if you never hear it for the rest of your life, I'll give you $100. That's how that works. So
good deal for them.
We had a request to do some Edwin McCain,
Oh, cool.
and I've got to reach way back. I'm not even entirely sure I can sing that way, because I'm all dude and everything.
Yeah,
I'm going to try, though, because he's a really good friend of ours. His name's TJ. He watches every episode, which is what something the rest of y'all ought to be doing.
Shame on you all.
Shame on you if you
We'll
ain't
put you on
watching.
the hot seat if you're not.
Before I get to it, though, I got a GoFundMe page. Go to GoFundMe.com/Jake Johnson Band. Donate if you can. If you can't, that's fine. Nobody will hold it against you. But this costs money, so help us out if you can. Go to @JJBandFANPAGE, JJ Band fan page. That's on Facebook. Or go to one of our personal Facebook pages. Doug Spivey, David Rising, Jake Johnson, Paul Wynn. That's WYNN.
Correct.
All right. So if you want to do that. And also, for the love of God, go to YouTube.com and type in Jake Johnson Band Untethered Podcast. When you get there, It's the dude below the handsome dude that's up top with the blonde hair.
Hey, you're on top on mine.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yes! You guys are making a difference. I used to be underneath the pretty guy. Now I'm above the pretty guy, so take that, pretty guy. But when you get there, press that red subscribe button. It's free. It costs you nothing. But we need to get the numbers up, so help us out with that. And TJ, I'm going to do my best, man. I ain't promising you nothing. This is in the key of A. I don't even know if I remember how this song sounds. Give me a second. I got it. Strands in your eyes, color them wonderful. Stop and steal my breath. Emeralds and mountains, thrust toward the sky. Prove my love's alive and not dead. Tell me we belong together. Dress it up with your hands of love. I'll be activated. Hang from your lips, head of the gallows. Heartaches hang from above. I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be love suicide. I'll be better when I'm older. I'll be the greatest fan in your life. Rain fall, angry on the tin roof. We lie awake in my bed. You're my survival, my living proof. Love is alive and not dead. Tell me we belong together. Dress it up with your remnants of love. I'll be captivated. Hang from your lips instead of those gallows. Heartaches hang from above. I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be love suicide. I'll be better when I'm older. I'll be the greatest man in your life. F sharp minor, guys. I've been pushed round, put down, on my way back from the dead. And I remember the thing that she said. I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be love suicide. I'll be better when I'm older. I'll be the greatest man in your life. Greatest man in your life. Not bad for a 42-year-old redneck, I guess.
That's a
There
pretty
you
song.
go.
I like that.
First time I've ever played it.
He's a good songwriter.
I've been in bands that have played it. You know what I mean? I've played it, but I've never actually sang it. So there you go, TJ. I'm keeping my damn money. Take that. All right. I think we got time for about one more, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. So we're going to do I'm gonna take y'all back to the 80s. Y'all come on with me. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Now would be the time to get your old lady in your lap.
Or not.
Or not. Or your old man. I forgot, we're in a new world. I do kind of like that beard. Sexy. In a dirty way.
I was only growing about it.
Really? I shaved mine off today because it was all gray and shit. Goes like this. We both fly silently still in the dead of the night. We both fly close together. We're being miles apart aside. Was there something I said or something I did? Did my words not turn out right? Oh, I tried not to hurt you. Yeah, I tried. But I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yes, it does. Listen to a favorite song playing on the radio. DJ said love the game of easy come and easy go. But I wonder, does he know, has he ever felt like this? And I know that you'll be here right now. I can let you know somehow. I just it's on, just like every night as it's dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Though it's been a while now, I can still feel so much pain. I can knock the guts in the wall. On the scar remain. E minor. That's really hard on that acoustic guitar.
He gave her a good dance rock.
Maybe night I can forgot the words. That's alright, I'm cool as shit, and I'll make them up as I go along. And I wonder, yes, help me out here, man. I can let you know song, and I can say those and it's gone. Just like every night as it's dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. As customary, this is for being on the podcast.
All right.
We enjoyed you. Please come back again.
God bless America.
We'll see you next time.